Think about your last relationship, or the one before that, or the one before that. Now ask yourself honestly, were any of them actually that different from each other? Same arguments, same emotional distance, same feeling of never quite getting what you need. If that sounds familiar, I want you to know something important. You are not broken, you are not cursed, and you are definitely not bad at relationships. What you are is patterned. And today, we're going to break that pattern wide open using one of the most powerful frameworks in all of relationship psychology. Welcome to IntimIQ, where we use psychology and science to help you understand the relationships in your life at a deeper level. I'm going to say something that might surprise you. Most of us do not choose our partners. Not really. We think we do. We think we're swiping right based on looks, or choosing someone because they make us laugh. But underneath all of that, beneath every spark and every connection, there is a deeply wired psychological system running the show. It's called your attachment style, and it was built inside you before you were old enough to walk. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what your attachment style is, why it keeps pulling you towards certain kinds of people, and most importantly, what you can actually do about it. Back in the 1960s, a British psychiatrist named John Bowlby was studying something most people hadn't thought to study at all: the bond between mothers and their infant. What he discovered changed psychology forever. He found that human beings are biologically wired to form emotional bonds with caregivers, not just for food or warmth, but for emotional safety, for reassurance, for the feeling that someone is there. He called this the attachment system, and he said it stays active in us for our entire lives, not just in childhood, but in every romantic relationship we ever have as adults. Then, in the 1980s, two researchers, Cindy Hazan and Philip Shaver, took Bowlby's work and applied it directly to romantic relationships. And what they found was both fascinating and honestly, a little bit uncomfortable. The way you attach to your caregiver as a child, whether they were consistent, inconsistent, or absent, directly predicts the kind of romantic partner you'll be attracted to as an adult. Let that sink in for a moment. The emotional blueprint was written before you even started school. The first attachment style is called secure attachment. And before you roll your eyes and assume this isn't you, just listen. Securely attached people had caregivers who were consistently present and emotionally responsive, not perfect, just reliable. When they cried, someone came. When they were scared, they were comforted. As adults, securely attached people find it relatively easy to get close to others. They can depend on people without fear. They're comfortable with intimacy. And when conflict happens, because it always does, they handle it without catastrophizing. Research by Dr. Philip Shaver found that about 50% of the population is securely attached, which means half of us have a real advantage in relationships, and the other half of us are working a little harder than we need to. Okay, so now you know. Your attachment style was shaped early, it runs on autopilot, and it's been steering your relationship choices for years. Is that just it? Are you stuck? Absolutely not. And this is the part that attachment researchers, including Bowlby himself, were very clear about. Attachment styles are not permanent. They are not your destiny. They are patterns, and patterns can be changed. Here is what the research actually tells us works. First, awareness is the foundation. You cannot change what you cannot see. Just knowing your attachment style, understanding why you react the way you do, begins to create a gap. You were not born broken. You were not cursed with bad taste in partners. You were a child who learned how to love based on what you were shown. And now, as an adult, with awareness and intention, you get to decide whether to keep running on that old program or to write a new one. That's not a small thing. That's actually everything. If this video gave you something to think about, drop in the comments below. Which attachment style resonates most with you? Anxious, avoidant, secure, or a mix? You might be surprised how many people are in the same boat. And next week on IntimIQ, we're going into one of the most psychologically manipulative dynamics in modern dating: love bombing. What it is, how it works on your brain, and the early signs that are really easy to miss. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss it. I'll see you then.